Hello traders, welcome to Tarisai Pardon Trading Ideas. Today I would like to share with you ideas on how the stock screener works. What is a stock screener? A stock screener is an instrument or a tool used by traders and investors to quickly sift through available stocks. It allows traders and investors to employ their own methodology about what makes a stock valuable or spot a potential trading opportunity. It is free to use on most brokerage sites, but also available on some subscription sites. It is useful to both fundamental and technical traders, professional and individual investors. Uses of stock market screener. A stock market screener helps to focus on stocks that suit the investment strategies and meet the standard of traders from hundreds of thousands of companies listed on national exchanges. Remember, we have numerous exchanges by countries, and it may be difficult for an investor to pick which stock to invest in. And through these stock screeners, typically we have something for every investor, and it should be used to see what type of information is available before entering a trade or investment. For fundamental investors, information that may be available on the stock screener include market capitalization, earnings per share, operating cash flows, return on investment, dividend yields, and other variables that relates to fundamental information about the stock or the counter. For technical traders, we have information relating to moving averages, relative strength index, momentum, average directional index, chart patterns, and other technical tools that are mostly used by technical investors. An example for a stock screener that I am going to discuss here is from the website investing.com. This website can be used for free or through a subscription. You can see that from this pictorial, the stock screener starts with the country, and in this case Zimbabwe was picked from the drop down menu. Other information that can be used to screen for a counter include exchanges, where in some countries we have more than one exchange. We have information on sectors, industries, and equities, and these are the main categories that are going to be screened by our screener. Other additional criteria include ratios, price, volume and volatility, fundamental, dividends, technical indicators, and we further refine these additional criteria by editing these criteria in the edit criteria. How we then edit this information in the edit criteria is through dragging the information such as information on market cap, on revenue, on gross margin into the edit criteria. You can see that in the edit criteria tab we have 53 matches from the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. Basically, it shows us the database of all the information that is available from the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange founders. We can then see that on the screener results we also have additional information, and the first tab will show us the overview, the second tab the fundamental, followed by the technical, followed by performance, and the candlestick patterns. When we look at another example from the same site, on technical indicators you would see that we have information related to ADX, ATR, rules and BA, highs and lows, MACD, RSI, and other technical indicators. And since we have not yet picked any additional criteria, you'd see that we still have 53 counters as matches from the edit criteria. Basically, this shows us that the database has a total of 53 counters from Zimbabwe. Now, for us to quickly grasp this concept of stock screeners, let's proceed and do a live stock screener example. Now, by logging in on www.investing.com, we get to this site, and on this site we look at the tab written markets. On markets we go on to stocks, and from stocks we choose stock screener. On the stock screener we have the first screening criteria here being for countries, and from these countries you can pick your country of choice, and my country of choice is Zimbabwe. And on the exchanges I don't have to change anything, but if we check on the exchanges you would see that we only have Zimbabwe with 53 counters, since I have already picked a country as Zimbabwe. If I want to look at the sectors, we'd see that basically these are the categories or the sectors that all our counters fall within. All these 53 counters fall within these sectors, but I'm not going to choose anything from these on sectors. We also have industries, and by industries you have a very big list of the types of industries. If you want to choose a specific industry, you can then pick it from there. On the criteria, add criteria tab, you would see that we have popular variables such as the price earnings ratio, the market cap, and other additional variables. But for the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, the main criteria that I have been seen to be working is the technical indicators. The fundamental have some gaps in terms of the information that is available. So under this example I am going to will be using technical indicators as a screening criteria. Before I pick any of these criteria to sift my counters, you can see that on top I have 53 matches under the edit criteria tab. So as I add or as I apply my methodology, this will reduce the number of matches that will be appearing here. And for that, my first choice will be the RSI. So by clicking on RSI, it will be moved to the edit criteria where I can edit the RSI range. And from here you can see that the moment I picked RSI and the criteria has started from 30, already my matches have dropped down to 45. Normally I use the RSI to determine the trend of the counters, and for any counter that is above 50 RSI, I would know that the trend is up, and for a RSI that is below 50, the trend will be down. So I'll edit my criteria so that the RSI goes to 50. So approximately from 49.96 you would see that this is closer to 50, and by merely doing that I have reduced my images from 53 in total to the current 21. I also like to look at volume when I am trading on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. In order to take care of liquidity challenges, I have to look at the volume, and by clicking on the volume it is automatically added to the edit criteria. And on volume I'd like to see at least 100,000 as the minimum volume traded for each of these counters, and the closest I can get to is a minimum of 106,000. You would see that we can go up to a maximum of 3 million on volume, and this has further refined my counters to 15. Now that I have 15 counters that have been screened, if I check at the results, on the overview tab you'll basically get the name of the counter, the symbol, the exchange, the last traded price, the percentage change, and the market cap, as well as the volume. Why I have been avoiding to use the fundamental tab, as you can see here on the market tab, market capitalization tab, there is no information, and this is going to mislead me if I try to use the market tab, market capitalization criteria for screening my counters. So on these fundamentals you see that there are a lot of gaps. That's why I basically said it doesn't work on the data that is available on investing.com relating to the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. So on technicals or the technical indicators, you'd see that on this information is readily available, since it is determined or it is obtained from the prices of these counters, and this information is available on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. And from the criteria that I have, the methodology that I have applied, you would see that out of all the 15 counters that I have chosen, only a few are indicating that they are neutral. On a weekly basis, you would see that I only have a buy on ZB Financial Holdings, while the rest 14 counters are indicating strong buy technicals. So by basically screening, it makes my work easier when I try to pick a specific counter that I may be interested to invest in. So I will just open a few charts and we have a look at them, and for that I will pick Delta, which has a strong buy decision there, so that we have a look at the chart, and also have a pick on Zimplo, which is neutral, and I also have a pick on Unifreight Africa, which is showing a buy indicator, so that we have a look at how the charts are looking. Now, before we take a look at the specific charts, let's also look at how these screened counters have been performing over the past year. You would see that on On daily performance, we have Rio topping the list with 17.86%, and on weekly returns we have Cassava taking the lead there, and on monthly returns Cassava is also still on first position under the screened results. And if we look at the results over a year and 3 years, we still see that all these counters are having positive returns in the long term. So by using these the stock screeners, we can see that it will be easier for me to choose which counter to invest in, since they meet most of the or all of the criteria that I have picked. You can also have a look at the candlestick patterns, which can also tell you if it is a good time to buy the counter or it is a bad time. And there are quite a lot of them, and they have been appearing in different time frames. And we also have some ratings on how reliable these candlestick patterns are. Now let's take a quick look at the chart. Now that we have opened the technical chart for Delta, you would see that using this line graph, the price has been going up since the beginning of the year, and currently it is slightly retracing from its all-time high that was achieved in August of 2021. What we may also want to see is how the chart looks when we are using candlesticks. And as you can see on this chart, yes, it is mostly green, but the way the candles are coming out is not it is not actually nice, and we may not be able to monitor the price movements very well if the candles are looking this way. So in order to improve the way our candles are looking, we use Heikin Nashi candlesticks. So after applying this Heikin Nashi candles, you can now see clearly and in a smooth manner how this trend has been going, and you can see that we have moved from a price of around 20 local dollars to the current price of $88, which is an upward trajectory, or the trend is upward. We may also apply some moving averages and the technical indicators to improve our trading methodology, but basically this counter looks good, and the volumes are also good. They are above our minimum of 100,000 that we had been looking at. And now we take a look at Simplo. I want to see how the chart looks like. Yes, the chart also looks good when we are using these candles, and you can quickly see that the price has also moved up from a low of around $4 local dollars in January this year up to the current price of $15, which is a huge positive return. So that's why it looks attractive, and the RSI has done a great job for us in picking the stocks that are actually in an uptrend. But of major concern on this counter is the volumes, which are very thin, although they are above our methodology, or minimum of 100 1000 is a minimum of 1000 is volume. The last counter that we have to look at is the Unifreight. Unifreight Africa, and from the chart you can also see a beautiful uptrend here, a very nice uptrend with just a few red candles. And if we look at the price from January, we would see that we had a minimum price of 31 cents, but the current price right now is at $30 in local currency. A beautiful trend there. So the screener has actually done a good job for us. So this is all ahead, a few ideas ahead to share with you on how you can quickly choose counters to invest in if you are faced with a mountain of counters to pick from. A stock screener can actually help you to quickly do the job so that you make your investment decisions wisely, applying a criteria or a methodology that you are familiar with. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please remember to click the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my channel, so that we will continue sharing ideas. You also have to click the notification button so that you get more videos that I'll be sharing over the next few days with you, so that we continue to sharpen or increase our knowledge. I thank you.